The 30-day experiment. Have you ever picked up your phone to check one message and then suddenly realized that an hour had passed? This is the story of Ethan. Ethan was not lazy. He had a job. He had goals. He wanted to learn new skills, read more books, and exercise regularly. But every evening, he found himself doing the same thing. He would sit on the couch, open social media for a few minutes, and keep scrolling. One video became 10. 10 minutes became an hour. An hour became an entire evening. At first, he thought it was normal. Everyone around him was doing the same thing. His friends spent hours online. His coworkers spent hours online. Even during lunch breaks, people stared at their phones instead of talking to each other. So Ethan never questioned his habit. But one day, something happened. He looked at the screen time report on his phone. The number shocked him. More than 4 hours a day. 4 hours. Every single day. He grabbed a calculator. 4 hours a day meant 28 hours a week. More than one full day. Over a year, it added up to more than 60 days. 2 entire months. Gone. Just scrolling. That night, Ethan couldn't stop thinking about it. He wasn't angry. He wasn't depressed. He was simply surprised. He had always complained that he didn't have enough time. But maybe time wasn't the problem. Maybe attention was the problem. The next morning, he made a decision. For 30 days, he would stop using social media. No Instagram, no TikTok, no endless scrolling. He told himself it was only an experiment. Just 30 days. The first day felt strange. Whenever he had a free moment, his hand automatically reached for his phone. While waiting for coffee, while standing in line, while sitting on the bus. His brain expected entertainment every few seconds. Without it, everything felt boring. The second day was even harder. He caught himself unlocking his phone again and again, not because he needed something, just because he was used to doing it. For the first time, Ethan realized how automatic the habit had become. By the end of the first week, he noticed something unexpected. He wasn't happier. He wasn't more productive, at least not yet. In fact, he felt restless. His mind seemed louder than before. There were thoughts he had been avoiding, questions he had ignored, goals he kept postponing. Social media had not only occupied his time, it had occupied his attention. And now, all that empty space felt uncomfortable. Most people would have stopped there. But Ethan decided to continue. During the second week, something began to change. He started reading before bed, only 10 pages at first, then 20, then 30. He began taking short walks in the evening, without headphones, without videos, just walking. For the first time in years, he paid attention to the world around him, the weather, the trees, the people, the sounds of the city, small things he had stopped noticing. One afternoon, he found an old notebook. Inside were goals he had written years earlier. Learn a new language, start a small business, get in better shape. Most of those goals had never happened, not because they were impossible, but because they had slowly disappeared beneath thousands of tiny distractions. That realization hit him hard. Success is rarely destroyed by one big mistake. More often, it is stolen by hundreds of small distractions. As the third week began, Ethan had more energy. He slept better. He focused longer. He felt calmer. His life wasn't perfect. He still had problems. He still had responsibilities. But he no longer felt like every spare moment had to be filled with content. He learned something important. Boredom is not the enemy. Sometimes boredom is the beginning of creativity. When the mind is quiet, new ideas appear. New plans appear. New solutions appear. By day 25, Ethan no longer counted the days. The experiment had become normal life, and that surprised him more than anything else. The habit that once felt impossible to break was losing its power. Finally, day 30 arrived. The challenge was over. Ethan opened his notebook and wrote down everything he had learned. He had read 2 books. He had exercised more consistently. He had improved his sleep. But the biggest change wasn't any of those things. The biggest change was awareness. He finally understood where his time was going. He finally understood what was stealing his attention. And once he understood that, he could make better choices. Did social media ruin Ethan's life? No, that wasn't the lesson. The lesson was simpler. Anything that controls your attention can control your future. Your future is built from small daily choices. A few minutes here, a few minutes there. A habit repeated again and again. Most people wait for a dramatic moment that changes everything. But real change often begins with a small decision. A decision to pay attention, a decision to be present, a decision to spend time on what truly matters. So here's a question. If you stopped scrolling for 30 days, what would you discover about yourself? Maybe the answer would surprise you, just like it surprised Ethan.